Hey guys, welcome to another video. This is Mr. Chow from EnglishTuition.org. Now in today's video, we're going to discuss about the English oral component for the PSLE examination, and we're just going to focus on the stimulus-based conversation. So just a quick recap, what does this exercise entails? First of all, students are required to read one passage and then engage in a conversation with the examiner based on one visual stimulus. In other words, the student will be given a picture. So the picture could be, let's say, a banner or a flyer, and then afterwards there'll be some prompts by the examiner, and the students is expected to deliver their ideas and their opinions orally. So in terms of the marking scheme, the passage itself will give 10 marks. But the focus for today's video is on the conversation, which students will be awarded a total of 20 marks. So for the entire oral exercise, students will be awarded a total of 30 marks. And the weightage for the PSLE English oral component is 15% out of the entire examination. And the total exam time is only about 10 minutes. So this is a pretty easy to score component because it doesn't really require the students to cram a lot of knowledge. As long as you have the oral skills, I think most students will do well in this component. So out of the 10 minutes, 5 minutes will be preparation time, and the other 5 minutes will be the actual exam time. Now take notes that the exam time is very short as well as the preparation time, so you will be just over in the blink of an eye. And as for the formats of the examination, the examiners will be given 3 main prompts, right? And then all the main prompts are expected to be asked. So be prepared to be asked at least, at the very minimum, 3 questions, all right? And then examiners are also given bulleted points that they can use at their own discretion to facilitate the conversation. For example, if they find that a student require more support or more assistance, they might then ask the bullet points, right? But this is solely based on the examiner's discretion, and students may not necessarily have to answer those prompts, because if the students are smooth in their oral delivery, the examiners actually will not attempt to interrupt them and break their train of thoughts, right? But for weaker students who maybe need a bit more prompt or need a bit more time to think about the ideas that they want to deliver, then only will examiners step in and use those points and try to help the students. So for example, right, you may get a main point. The first question that students may be asked: look at the picture, does this flyer make you want to join the event? Why or why not? All right, and then there's a bullet point, which may or may not be asked. Why do you think there are contests to participate in for this particular event? All right, then the student might answer that, give a response and say that the contests are there to attract the participants to join and make the event more exciting, and so on and so forth. So it's all to make conversation. And another example, right, maybe the second prompt that you get is: tell us a time when you participated in a similar event. And then the third point: given a chance, would you like to set up a store at an event? Why or why not? So if you look at all the prompts, with the exception of the first question, the second question and the third question onwards, students are pretty much free to express their opinions and their ideas. What students can do to help them generate more ideas so that they don't get stuck and hesitate during the delivery is to try to make better use of the preparation time and anticipate the type of questions that will be asked, because during the prep time, the picture will actually be given to the students. So students can think about what are the possible questions that will be asked, and then they can also try to recall some of the personal experiences that they have. Remember, this is oral. Any form of opinion, experiences, recollections of what have happened in the past will be an acceptable response in the PSLE oral exercise. So how do you score well for the stimulus-based conversation segment? Right, here are some tips for you. So if you're still feeling nervous after the reading passage, do remember to breathe. If you're nervous, to calm yourself down. Try to maintain eye contact as much as possible, as if you're having a real conversation with someone, just like what I'm doing with you now, right? And one of the assessment objective of the PSLE syllabus, for the oral, is actually to assess students, right, whether they speak fluently, and when they speak, do they speak with grammatical accuracy. So for those of you who usually when you talk in Singlish, you make it a habit, you don't watch out for the grammar, then you might suffer a little bit during the oral exercise because you're not watching out for the correct grammar. Okay, and at the same time, students are expected to use a wide range of vocabulary and sentence structures, right? For example, if you're using adjectives, are you always using the same adjectives repetitively, okay, without any new words that come into your delivery, right? For example, if you're using happy all the time, right, the examiners will not be able to award you a very high score. Okay, maybe you can use a different synonym like delighted, joyful, elated. Okay, and then as for sentence structures, I noticed that a lot of students, they like to use the same transitional devices to connect their sentences together, right, on the same connectors. For example, a lot of students like to use next, 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 or they just like to say and then, and then, and then, and then all the time, right? So maybe you can change it up a little bit by using different phrases like in addition to this, besides this, okay, furthermore, right? So try to mix up the words that you use as well as the sentence structures, then I think you'll do fine for the exercise. Another assessment objective, students are expected to express their personal opinions, ideas, and experiences clearly and effectively when conversing with the examiner. So a lot of this depends on whether how well the students are able to think on their feet. So how do we achieve the score that we want for the PSLE oral exercise? Here is what I suggest that you can do on a daily basis. Improve your skills, right, on a daily basis. So try to find opportunities to use the language in daily conversation. For example, you might want to talk to your friends, talk to your parents, call up your tutors or your teachers. Any opportunities to use the language orally would be good. Okay, practice thinking on your feet, because as you can see from the questions, you might be hit by a topic that is completely unexpected, right? Or you might be hit by a question that is completely unexpected, and then you are expected to think on your feet. Try to do the oral exercise daily with your friends, right? So for example, you can ask each other questions and try to respond using complete sentences that are grammatically accurate. And then finally, try to engage in at least one discussion a day about a general topic, right? So the topic can be about health, can be about personal hygiene, can be about sports, can be about school, can be about concerts, etc. As long as the topic is relevant to you, okay, then I think it is a good idea to engage in a discussion with someone else, right? So if you're talking about personal hygiene, right, what does it entail? If you're talking about housework, what are some possible points that you can bring up? So having this daily practice will certainly help you with your PSLE oral, so that during the oral exam itself, you won't feel stressed. You're confident that you are able to generate the ideas and engage the examiner in a proper conversation. And with that, if you'd like to sign up for lessons, just contact me on my website. We've come to the end of this video. If you've enjoyed this video and would like to see more videos just like this one, please remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.